JF, Stretford, Paddock, and this is the Manchester United tier list. It's actually the post-Sir Alex Ferguson Academy graduate tier list. Joining me is my good friend and the now Twitter famous Adam Patterson. How are we doing, bro?
I'm doing good, mate. How are you doing?
Still basking in the glory of Ricky Gervais liking one of your tweets. I'm so jealous.
Do you know what? He jumped. I think he was more excited than me.
I jumped up and cheered when that happened. It was fantastic. Just like you'll be jumping up and cheering when you're watching this tier list. So we're going to go through the criteria on how this works. Obviously, it's post-Sir Alex Ferguson players that have come through the academy. So if they came through the academy whilst they were playing, whilst Sir Alex Ferguson was there, they don't count. So you're not going to count those players. It's the one that came in during the David Moyes onwards era. Also, they have to have played 5 games for Manchester United's first team. So the likes of Josh Harrop and Matty Willock, Demi Mitchell, they won't qualify. But there's loads of players that obviously do. And we've got them into 5 categories, yeah? We've got the top tier, which is deserves a statue.
Yeah.
Yeah? So that's your Bobby Charlton's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So very, very, very good chance that there's nobody on this list who's getting one. But we needed a top tier.
Yeah, you have to have a top tier. Or maybe there's a potential one where you think he could do one day. So he might not be there yet, but there's enough sort of, there's enough in there. Yeah. So that's the top tier. The second tier gets a chant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good enough to have a chant. To be fair, sometimes the best players don't necessarily. Sometimes the best players don't have a chance, and players that aren't necessarily the best do.
We'll get into this later on, but we said one, didn't we, about a player that isn't maybe that good, who's got one over a player who is quite actually pretty good.
Yeah, there's players that have got chance at United who they're all right.
Yeah.
And then there's players that you think potentially world class, and they haven't got them. So it is weird, isn't it?
It's just chance, isn't it? They're made up when someone's pissed and hears a song and goes,
I
can shoe on his name.
Yeah, exactly. Anderson had a chant almost as soon as he arrived. That still gets sung now and again.
Varane's even got one already.
Yeah.
He's not even in the country yet.
That's what I mean. Do you know what I mean? So it's a bit weird with chant. But you get the impression. They're not quite, the very top tier, but they're very good. They're good enough that you want to sing the name. The third tier, which is sort of mid-table, is MUTV alumni. Yeah. So listen, we know you can be an amazing legend and appear on MUTV, but most of the regular guests on MUTV, the ones that are sort of almost presenters, they're in the sort of mid-range, aren't they, of Manchester United legends.
You go into a dinner and you're hearing a few stories about them.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That sort of level.
Yeah, it's that sort of vibe. Yeah. So you know what I'm coming from. The fourth tier, worth the selfie. Yeah. You see him out, you're like, look who it is. It's it's him. I remember when he made his debut. Can I have a selfie? Yeah. No drama. So they're not quite sort of, but they're like, hey.
Yeah. They're the ones who sort of drag your eye down Market Street when you're walking down it. Do you know what I mean?
Hey, I wonder what he was up to. Yeah. That sort of thing.
Exactly.
The final tier is Twitter famous. So, a bit like Patterson. Yeah. Twitter famous. So you might not see him out and about or recognise if you did see him, but they're on Twitter. They post stuff and you think, oh yeah, I remember. Oh yeah, they might post the odd picture of when they played for United. They might have made a few appearances, whatever. And you think, oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, oh yeah, good stuff. So those are the categories. Yeah, that's the real quiz. Yeah, and there will be lots of Office references because me and him are obsessed.
Not just Office references. There will be some about the Suez Canal.
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? So moving swiftly on, we'll go. Should we start from the beginning? When we say the beginning. The sort of the David Moyes type era.
I have to think about that era again.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
In the beginning.
Go on then.
So we're going to, some of these players you might go, well, actually, did he get his start under him or whatever? But we're going to start from David Moyes. I'm going to start with Adnan Januzaj. Because I know he was sort of in and around the first team under Fergie, wasn't he? But it was Moyes who gave him his debut.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's safe to say. Now, Januzaj, for starters, he had a chance straight away, didn't he?
Immediately. Catchy. It's brilliant.
Would you say it's brilliant?
You don't like it that much, do you?
No.
I thought it was great.
It sticks in your head, but it's annoying.
Yeah.
And it's one of those that you can't get out of your head, and I didn't really like it that much. And what made it worse was the fact that when I started singing it, when we all started singing it, after that brace at Sunderland, he was meant one, and you think, this is, what I mean? And then he just had more or less 2 seasons where it didn't really happen for him. Do you know what I mean?
He
was all right.
Alone, didn't he? Yeah, it didn't work out there, and then he come back, and he just never got it.
No, and it's really disappointing. So it's nothing against the lad because I quite like Januzaj when he came through the ranks. He just flattered to deceive a little bit.
I think that to an extent, but if you look at his career in terms of maybe some of the other players who've been on he was at the World Cup with Belgium. which is a hell of an accolade as well in that Belgium team.
Scored against us, didn't it? Sales against England.
Yeah. And then, he's carved out a pretty decent career at Sociedad where he's starting week in, week out at a decent level. So he's not been that bad when you consider, maybe some of the other academy graduates have dropped to maybe lower divisions. He's still playing in a top flight division in a decent side. So I think he's been all right.
Yeah, he has. So in terms of United tier, where would you put him here in our sort of tier list? Because for starters, he's not going to get a deserved statue. He did have a chant.
Did.
But that was more of sort of luck than design. I think, at the time we were sort of crying out for a player like him. He came through the ranks at the right time where Moyes was under the cosh a little bit, and he was a sort of brief oasis of lights in a desert of shite.
I'd put him MUTV.
MUTV alumni. I like that. Yeah.
Because I want to hear the stories about when Mourinho and Van Gaal pretty much bullied him into the ground. What did they say?
Yeah.
Because the whole thing it was like Moyes just said, just vibes it, mate. Like, you're all right. And then when tactics came in, exactly, he did well. And when tactics come in, he just sort of wasn't maybe that intelligent when it comes to that. So no, I think he's there about mid-tier. He wasn't that bad. He wasn't that good. He was just sort of a paper bag floating in the wind, and he was all right.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with he was all right. He was all right. So MUTV alumni, I'm not going to argue with you. I kind of agree with that. I think that's a fair sort of comment and shout as to where he is. Another player that we saw, I think towards the end of the David Moyes era, wasn't it? I think it was under Giggs. He got his debut.
It was it?
Was it against Hull?
Hull. Yeah, I'm thinking that Hull game. Yeah, he scored a brace, and Tom Lawrence played as well.
Yes,
he was another one that didn't quite make this list.
Didn't quite make this club. Yeah, sorry, we are a bit harsh. Talking about James Wilson. Great debut, couple of goals. Thinking, hey up.
Yeah.
This kid's got it.
And he did all right under Louis.
Yeah.
I always remember that game against Liverpool where him, Rooney and Van Persie were up front, and he was just doing all the selfless runs to let them two flourish. I think Rooney scored, but did Van Persie? I don't think he did. He was pretty good, I thought, for United. He was all right. But everyone thought, I think the expectation is that Greenwood's going to get to that extra step where Wilson just didn't.
No.
I think Greenwood and Wilson now are very sort of here-ish, and it's like, if he progresses past that, what Wilson didn't get past, then he'll have a pretty decent career. Because unfortunately with Wilson, it was just injury after injury. And as well, the really sad thing for Wilson is that at that time, it wasn't it? Like, Van Persie's not going to get any younger. Rooney's not getting any younger. We had Falcao, but his knees had both gone, and he was only on loan. It was like, if you're looking for one who's probably going to start next season, it's probably going to be him.
Well, there was these rumours, wasn't there, that apparently he'd sort of leapfrogged Welbeck in a pecking order. Yeah. That's one of the reasons Welbeck wanted to go to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Because it was like literally like those players you mentioned, and then James Wilson, and Welbeck was like fifth choice.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not having this. I'm been here for years. I'm an England international and all the rest of it. But that was one of the reasons. And there was a time, and obviously I never got it because I love Danny Welbeck. But there was a time when people were like, like you're saying, James Wilson is going to be the next big thing. I think personally Mason Green was already streets ahead of where James Wilson is. Mason's potentially one of the best youngsters on the planet. I don't think James Wilson was ever in that conversation, but he was a very good player for a brief period of time, especially, as I said, coming through the ranks as well, not just the first team as an academy player. For our list, where does he stand then? Because it's a bit of a weird one. I think we're looking down the lower end, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're mid to lower table,
if
we're going to be sort of honest about what he did at United. And this is based on his United career as well, because some of these players, they might have gone on and done sort of wonderful things once they've left Old Trafford. But looking at his United career, where would you put him?
Oh, God. It's got to be, like you said, you got to be looking mid and below. You got to be mid at an absolute push.
So the mid is MUTV alumni. The sort of one below that is worth a selfie, and the one below that is Twitter famous.
It's worth a selfie, isn't it?
Worth a selfie.
Because it's Salford, isn't he? I probably will see him and probably go,
that's James Wilson. I remember when he made his debut against Hull and got that brace. Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, he played 20 games for United, and scored 4 goals. So it's not a complete disaster.
No.
He played his part, and he was actually registered at the club for quite a while. I think he signed a 5-year deal. And he was actually at the club for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons, although he wasn't there.
God, he was just there for free for 1 year.
Yeah, he was on loan at Brighton, at Derby, at Sheffield United, at Aberdeen.
He was good.
And then, like you say, went to Salford, and he's now at Port Vale.
Was he Port Vale now?
Yeah, it's weird as well because, he scored 4 goals in his first 2 seasons, and his first season was only literally 1 game or something like that. Yeah, a couple of games. and then he's only scored sort of 20 goals since then.
It's mad
It's
that.
just not really happened for him.
It's
It's
a
a
shame.
shame because he was a good lad.
Yeah, I really liked him when he come
Yeah.
through. And, like watching the academy around then, going, maybe just give him a chance and just see how he does. And then when he actually gave him a chance, he scored 2. So it was like everyone was in the James. I remember seeing outside Old Trafford, there was a kid who was walking out with fucking Wilson on his shirt.
Mate,
And it was like, people genuinely looked at this kid and was like, I'm going to get his name on his shirt because he could be the next big thing. And now there's a kid somewhere who's got James Wilson on his shirt that goes, who's that? And it's like, don't worry about it.
Do you know, I went to Norway once and bumped into a guy who had Borthwick Jackson on his shirt.
Really?
Was like proper random in it. I'm not having
Yeah.
a dig at Borthwick Jackson, but it was like, that is the most random thing I've ever seen.
I'd love to see the United back end of shirt prints to see who has the least amount.
Yeah, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Who do you reckon it is?
It's definitely not Fellaini. Because when I met Brian Robson at Old Trafford, I seen Marouane Fellaini picking up about 40 of his own shirts.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
with his twin brother. Whilst Brian Robson was 10 yards away, everyone was shaking his hand. You had another United midfielder who was shit.
I'm not getting involved. All I say is certain people that live in my house have got Marouane Fellaini tattooed on their finger. So I'm not going down that rabbit hole, mate, because I'll just I'll be sleeping in the garden. So Jan and I, Wilson, we're having, where did we say? Worth a selfie.
Yeah.
Now, we're getting into now the Van Gaal era. Because this is where we really started seeing a lot of debuts and a lot of players sort of coming through and being given a chance. Van Gaal was just not shy of dishing out the appearances, was it? We'll start with Jesse Lingard. Made his debut, I think, was it Swansea for the first game, the season opener?
Yeah, and he did his cruciate.
Did his cruciate, yeah. Got an
Good.
injury. I mean, it's weird with Jesse Lingard because the story hasn't finished. We don't know what's going to happen this season. He still could end up playing, he could end up having a few more years at Manchester United. He could end up moving on. But we're going to go off what has happened so far. So far at Manchester United, I'm just looking through some of his stats. I think he's played about 200 odd games, which is obviously a lot. Scored 33 goals. Scored some important goals as well, the League Cup final, the FA Cup final.
Yeah.
Where does Jesse fit on our list?
Worth a chance. It's got to be.
Gets a chance, yeah?
It's got to be, yeah. Because you look at some other United players that have scored in in FA Cup finals, and it's he scored an FA Cup final winner. That's it. Like he's literally put that much authority on a cup that he ended up winning it for United. And I was personally as well, I like it because I was there on the bottom when he jumped in the crowd and he pretty much jumped on me. Yeah, so it was like I've always got that. Every time I see Lingard, I always think back and go like, well, you won me my first FA Cup that I've seen in person. So for me, he's not quite that level, your top tier world class level, but he's got to be worth a chance, surely, for what he's done for the club and how long he's been here, and he's just never badmouthed it, and he's always got on with it, and he's always had his critics, just been silent on it and just tried to do it on the pitch. Went out to West Ham to find his feet again, come back to United, and he looks like he's going to stay this season. So,
yeah, it does. At the time of recording, it does look like we could end up seeing Jesse. And I love Jesse Lingard, and I'm with you. I was in the press box for that one, and I just, when he scored that goal, I lost all sort of semblance of trying to keep it professional. I was screaming.
So what are you saying then? Worth a chant?
Yeah, worth a chant, 100%.
Gotta be.
Like you said, didn't get enough sort of kudos for that FA Cup final goal because we sacked Van Gaal the next day and appointed Jose the day after that, so we didn't even get a news cycle out of it. So yeah, we're going to say with Jesse Lingard, we'll give him worth a chant. We'll move on to Tyler Blackett, another one who got his chance under Louis Van Gaal. He got his chance in pre-season, didn't he? I remember we played like 3-5-2 and everyone thought this is going to be our new formation with him as a sort of left wing back, I think he was at the time, or he might have been on the left side of a three.
Yeah.
A popular player when he played.
Yeah.
Got stuck in. Obviously, he's, like all these players, came through the academy where you always get that little bit of affinity from him. Mancunian as well, if that matters to anyone. Didn't quite happen for him. Got that start, looked like he was going to get a good run under Van Gaal, then got an injury, dropped out. I think he ended up going out on loan, and I think he's at Forest now, via Reading. Where would you put him, Tyler Blackett?
Started well, faded.
Yeah.
And he's doing all right, I guess, now in a few lower division teams. He's got to be worth a selfie or lower than that. It's got to be on the show.
I've still got a little thing for him. I think that because he was a likeable sort of a player that you could get behind, he'd fly into challenges.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You can always get behind that.
Yeah,
So.
and he was a popular player as a youngster. So I'm with you. I'm going to go worth a selfie. Didn't really happen for him. I think in total he only played about 12 games, I think, for United, which is weird. I still have him playing more.
I can remember him starting, like you said, at like a bit of a back three, and he looked all right next to like McNair and all that, but just never took off for him, unfortunately.
Just didn't quite happen for him. Like a few of the players that got a chance under Louis van Gaal. But, it's not a criticism of him. When he played, he did relatively well. Just didn't really get a sort of any long runs in the team, and like I said, now he's still got a good career ahead of him, and he's at a decent level at Nottingham Forest. Another one who was a surprise inclusion one day. We were talking about this. Was it West Ham? He got the nod. Paddy McNair, because everyone was like, I remember seeing that team coming out. Paddy McNair. Hang on. Wasn't there like Michael Keenan and it was
Tom Thorpe?
Tom Thorpe, who both
team
sort of
captain at the time,
were considered to be ahead of him in the pecking order. Gets his start. Does really well. Almost like I don't know if he was officially, but it was a pretty much. I remember it as a man of the match performance.
Yeah.
But then it was one of them where you think, right, okay, Paddy McNair now he's had this start as a kid. I think he was a teenager when he first got he's got the nod. He's going to go on to big things here under Louis van Gaal. Didn't really happen. I think he played quite a few times for United. 27 times in total in those 2 seasons. Then went to Sunderland, ended up at Middlesbrough. So, again, he's still quite young, Paddy McNair. I think, what is he, 20, if I can find it. He's born in 1995, so, you can do the maths. 26. Still relatively young. Had a decent career around the Championship and obviously in the Premier League. Where would you rank Paddy McNair? Because it was weird, because he started so brightly as this young defender who came in and surprised everyone. Didn't quite kick on, if we're being going to be honest about it. So where would you put him in our rankings?
MUTV. Solid Championship player. Yeah. And that's not a criticism of him at all.
No.
Solid Championship player, solid player for Northern Ireland. He did what he needed to at United. And, he's usually, when he's left at Middlesbrough, is he at Middlesbrough now or has he moved on? He's like one of their best players. So he's in a really tough physical league and he's doing all right. So I don't think he's bottom tier whatsoever, because I think there's a player in there. And as well, he's one of them. He can play 10, full-back, centre-half, midfield. How many players can you do that? He's like a total footballer. He's good. I like him. So for that reason, for me, MUTV. And as well, if he's on MUTV, I will always some of those Louis van Gaal stories, because he's crazy.
We had Rafael de Silva on the channel earlier. Yeah. Make sure you check that out. Great stories about Louis van Gaal. Not his biggest fan, to be honest with you. Very honest, though. It was great chatting to him. He's got a book out, him and his brother. I think there's the Sunshine Kids, I think it's called. So go and check that out. So, Paddy McNair, you're giving him MUTV alumni. We might see him one day on MUTV as co-host. Why not? Good lad. Did well. Just didn't do it for a very long time. Went on to have a decent career at Sunderland and Middlesbrough. Who knows? Maybe he might end up back in the Premier League one day. We'll move on. Cameron Borthwick Jackson. Ooh. Now, this is a strange one, wasn't it? Got a chance, sort of a bit of a surprise. Again, like most players under Louis van Gaal, a bit of a surprise that he got a chance. Did well as well when he came in. Yeah. Very good fullback. I remember once coming out of Carrington when I'd just done the press conference, and there was paparazzi there, and I saw him taking a picture of the car next to me, and I think it was a Vauxhall Corsa, and it was Cameron Borthwick Jackson, and that was, the press. Look, he plays for United and still drives his mum's car, because he's sort of like, he's still a teenager. Yeah, it's pathetic. So I think he played a total of 10 games.
Really? Is that it?
Yeah.
It feels like more, It felt about half a season that he was playing.
Yeah, it did feel more.
I trust your stats.
Yeah,
but I'm
second guessing myself now, because I'm like, have I got this one wrong? But yeah, he played in total for Manchester United. Sorry, 14 games, 10 Premier League games. Sorry, yeah.
That's more like
shall we say a wise man, or a man, once said he was the best crosser of a ball since David Beckham.
I wonder who that was.
Yeah, that is a mystery. Whoever said that maybe needs some help.
You might as well not talk about that.
Yeah, might as well be Selleck. So I wouldn't quite agree with that. But Cameron Borthwick Jackson came in, did a good job. Bit unlucky as well, didn't work out for him. And it was a shame, because when he went out, I think he was on loan at Tranmere a few years ago. Might have been Oldham. I think it was Tranmere.
Yeah.
And he came back, and people thought he was coming back to go into the first team. A lot of people were moaning about it. And I think he had to sort of come out and say, that's not why I'm come back. I've come back because of other reasons. And I thought it was a bit of a shame because everyone was like, look at the state of our club. Cameron Borthwick Jackson's coming back now.
Yeah.
But he doesn't deserve that. Do you know what I mean? Because let's face facts, he was, he's a good lad who came through the ranks, played for Manchester United 14 times more than any of us lot will ever do. Just wasn't quite at the level.
Where are you thinking then? On a list, where are you going to go with him?
I'm loath to put him on a sort of Twitter famous. I'm going to go with Worth a Selfie.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Got to be Worth a Selfie, yeah.
Go on. Yeah.
Got to be Worth a Selfie, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Because all I can think of Borthwick Jackson's highlight was that cross that he did for Lingard's goal when it was like a pre-assist, if I want to say. I cringe saying that. Sound like a fucking Arsenal fan.
Go and XG yourself some mates. Right. Yeah.
Moving on.
Right, moving on. Okay then. But Cameron Borthwick Jackson, he goes in the Worth a Selfie.
Got him.
Your favourite player of mine, Andreas Pereira. Now, Pereira's a bit of a funny one, isn't he? Because he didn't come through the ranks. He came through the ranks as a kid. He's come from Brazil.
Yeah.
Then comes to Manchester United. As
Still won the league though at Spurs away with that 15-16 team, I think it was. Yeah. So done all right, but I mean, that goal aside, because I never seen that goal at Brentford, even though I was there. So that goal didn't happen.
Let's tell everyone, right?
concerned.
We was at Brentford, right? Me and you worked together. We see each other all the time. I took my lad, my brother was there, and we were all there. You and Baggers messaged me and were like, hey, what stand you in? Worked out we're in the same stand. Half time we went and had a catch up. My brother took me lad back up to the stands because we were still chatting. We missed the goal because we were chatting to each other, despite the fact we see each other all the time anyway. It was like, we're at Old Trafford, where are you? We're sat there, come and catch up. Come and have a chat. Why? We'll just have a chat tomorrow when we're back in the office together. And then we miss Andreas Pereira's greatest ever goal, if not the greatest ever goal, at Old Trafford. Pereira, he's played a lot of games for Manchester United. Played 75 games for Manchester United.
75 too many.
You could argue that, including 40 in one season.
Yeah.
I once said about him, he was the worst player to play that many games for Manchester United when he played 40 games that season.
Yeah.
I feel a bit harsh because he does have talent. He did become a bit of a whipping boy. Like, he was, everyone sort of look at him, look, we've got Pereira. And I think Ollie obviously came to rely upon him for a time until Bruno came in and while Pogba was out. It wasn't great. It wasn't a great time at Manchester United. But we have to be honest there. He didn't shine either. So there were moments in pre-season. He's always very good, as we just mentioned. He's done it again. Where would you rank him?
He's not. He's just not that good, is he?
No.
Like, if I'm being objective, I don't want to dig into him too much because he has been here like quite a bit, and he's, you said, 70+ games and all that. But can you say at least 10% of those games you go, Pereira was mint that game?
No.
Like, can you pick out a game where Pereira was like, shit, he was good?
No, there was the game of the 4-0 against Chelsea. I think he settled Martial's goal. And he wasn't playing that well, but he got that assist.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, you know what? He got the assist. There was games as well. Like, he's actually half decent on a dead ball, isn't he? I think he scored a free kick.
His debut against Ipswich.
Yeah. So there are moments, but on the whole, he just wasn't or isn't up to the standards you need to play for Manchester United Football Club.
Flat to deceive. I think he was just like the number 10 when number 10s were dying out.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what fucked him, if I'm being quite honest with you.
Because then he became like a DM, didn't he? He's not a DM.
He was never a defender, and he was never a runner. He was always like someone who just wanted to sit in the 10 and sort of flick the ball about and score a few worldies, as shown. Because he's done it before, like the Southampton goal when he just levered it. That's a position he wants to be in. But when you've got Bruno, and when you've just spent 40 million on Van der Beek, and you've also got Pogba who can kind of play there, and you got Juan Mata, it's like you're the fifth choice, you're not going to play. And also as well, if we're being honest, if you're playing against a City or a Liverpool and Pereira's in 10, a City or Liverpool worried?
No. Where would you? Because he's played 75 games. I'm going to say I'm UTV alumni. Where would you say? Would you go lower?
Maybe, yeah. I'd say Worth a Selfie.
All right, we'll go with Worth a Selfie.
I don't want to give anyone bottom tier because it's a bit too harsh.
I don't think we're going to do that. I don't think anyone's going to end up Twitter famous on here.
Worth a Selfie.
You know what? It's our list and we'll do what we want. A player that I once loved and still have a little bit of a candle for, Timothy FosuMensah.
Yep.
Who was just, when he burst onto the scene with around the same time as Marcus Rashford to help us get towards Wembley, although after the semi-final I don't think he played again. What do you think of him? Because he was a player that came over from Holland, a player that you could really, really get behind, get stuck in, very strong, very skillful on the ball as well. Just
Every United
That
fan
type of player that you're like, oh my God, he's actually. I remember was it Upton Park? He just dominated the midfield, and I thought this kid, he's going to be, he's going to be a United legend because I always get carried away with these youngsters. Like, I thought the likes of Terry Cook and Kiko Makeda were going to play.
2015, you thought he was going to get a statue.
Yeah, honestly, if we'd done this, that'd have been
Sir
like,
Timothy FosuMensah.
Yeah, 100%. You're going to rename Sir Matt Busby Way Sir Tim FosuMensah Way, and no one's going to complain.
He'd have a thing of legends, Chippy, you know what I mean, and everything. Not David Beckham in his LA Galaxy kit, which always annoyed me. But Tim FosuMensah, every United fan who says that they once didn't think that he would be world class is a liar.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Because everyone and his wife, who was a United fan, went, he's going to make it.
Yeah.
He has to make it. He was that good at academy level. And when he actually got his chance, he was very good. And I think that's what then when those people who maybe don't watch the academy a lot or had the doubts saying, oh, don't jump the gun too quick on him. That's when everyone, I think, went, maybe he could be good. I said to you upstairs then, the game against Spurs when we got beat 3-0. Yeah. FosuMensah got hooked and then they scored 3 goals in about 10 minutes. Yeah. And I was like, well, if you're talking about binary, he's come off and they've just scored 3. Yeah. So there you go then. It's simple as that. And then he was still very good. Like you said, Upton Park, he was mint. And then just injuries, wasn't it? And he's done his cruise shit twice now. And then he was never going to play for under Jose, because he was a young lad. So it was always just a bit wrong place, wrong time, I think, for him, unfortunately. And as well, his injuries didn't help.
No, he didn't. And also, just loan moves that didn't work out the way you wanted.
There was shit loans.
Yeah, like Fulham. Then he went to Palace when Wan-Bissaka came through. So he was playing right back, gets dropped for Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, and he never seen a game again. It was just shit. Yeah. And it was a shame because he was always on loan shunted to full-back, whereas everyone at United always wanted him to play midfield. Like, they never seen him as a fullback.
I thought you could play him as a DM and he'd be made for it. Still only 23. He's
at Leverkusen now, isn't he? That's the thing. Like, I don't know if he can climb back up that ladder just because of his injury record. If he's had that many at that young age, I think top clubs especially, he could play a 10 out of 10 that season. And top clubs will look at him and go, well, if we do splurge like 20-30 million on him, is he going to play us 20-30 games a season? I don't think he is, and it's a shame, but I wouldn't put anything against his footballing ability because he is a player, but he's got to be MUTV alumni. If you're in that 15-16 Youth Cup or what is it, title winning team, I think you're definitely half a good player because that was a hard thing to win because that went down to the wire. Yeah. So I think you're half a good player. And a lot of that team, it's just injuries, unfortunately. Just done them in.
When you say that, just explain what you mean, Patson, because some people are like, what do you mean the title-winning team?
So the team in the 15-16 season won the, I think it was the under-21s back then, wasn't it? The under-21s Premier League, and they won it the last day, I think it was, at White Hart Lane. And it had the likes of like Januzaj, I think, jumped back in there when he come back off loan, which spoke volumes about his decline. Pereira was in there. I think Dean Henderson was... Oh, no, Joel Pereira, was in there. Dean Henderson was, but I think he was a backup goalkeeper at the time. So there's a lot of players in there. There are very good players in there, but, they've carved out careers, just not careers at Manchester United for the majority of them, unfortunately.
We wish him well, and you never know. 23 years old, got loads of time ahead of him, but like you say, injuries and just bad low moves sort of caught with him a little bit. Remember when he played against Crystal Palace the other season? Everyone was like, "What? He's not played for 3 years." And
just forgot about him.
Ollie threw him in. The last one of the sort of the Van Gaal era. Some kid, I barely can remember him. Actually, I've had to Google him. Marcus Rashford.
Yeah,
don't know about him.
Don't know.
Rubbish.
He's on the bench against Watford once, wasn't he?
Terrible. Never amounts to anything on or off the pitch.
Exactly.
Selfish. Marcus. I mean, we don't really need to go into too much detail. Everyone knows what he's done, what he's capable of, and what he's still doing for Manchester United. Could he be the one, the main one out of all of these, I think, if we're being honest, who we can say potentially could be that top tier? One day, there may be a Marcus Rashford statue.
He's already got murals.
Yeah, we've already got murals in Withington, which is practically Old Trafford.
He's 3D away from a statue at this point.
Yeah, on a map, it's only like... on an A to Z, if anyone's of a certain age, it's only like half an inch.
He's getting one, and by the time this video's out, I wouldn't surprise if in between it he got one. Do you know what I mean? Because he's got that sort of the country love him for all the right reasons, and all the people who hate him are the ones who the country hate. Yeah. So he got everyone on the moral sides back in. Yeah. He's always got United fans behind him as well. So he's a hell of a player, which I think people sometimes have forgot because let's be real, the last 6 months for Rashford last season for United was pretty shit. Because he was playing with an injury, he was running to the ground, he was playing nearly every single game with his shoulder injury and then his ankle as well. So fully fit Marcus Rashford is one of the best wingers in the league, I'd say.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Footballing ability-wise, he's the fairy tale story that every kid wants to grow up. You're given your chance, you score 2, you play another game, you score another 2, then you're in the team, and then it's just down to hard work. He was playing under Jose, he was difficult. He wanted to leave maybe at one point. I don't know if he did or not, but there was a few rumours.
Yeah, I don't think he wanted to leave as much as he just wasn't. He
couldn't be asked with Jose.
Yeah,
anymore,
Jose just sort of, and the thing with Marcus, he'll always play where he's asked. He'll play the way that he's asked, and I think he was just being used in a miserable way.
He's a microcosm of what the perfect modern footballer is on and off the pitch, and for that reason deserves a statue.
I would never argue with that. I absolutely love Marcus Rashford, and the best thing about him, and well, you might say it's not the best thing, but I think it is, born in Wythenshawe, same as all my children have been.
Exactly.
So what more could you ask from Marcus Rashford? Right, we've now entered Kicking and Screaming into the...
Great film, that.
Sorry?
You ever seen that film?
Kicking and Screaming?
Yeah.
What's that? Who's in it?
Oh, shit, I forgot his name. It's a good film, though. Google it.
Kicking and Screaming, what's it about?
It's a football film. It's like...
Not Lenny Henry one?
No.
Right.
It's an American one. It was the first football film I ever watched.
Is it Will Ferrell?
Yes, it is, yeah.
Right, I've not seen it. I've seen trailers for it. Is it good?
It's shit, but it's that funny that it's actually all right.
Right, okay, well that makes
great
lots of sense. Right, we'll move on to the sort of Jose / Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. I think this is probably more Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but a little bit of both. Angel Gomez, a player that was gone to Lille.
Won a trophy the other day.
Yeah, won was it their version of the Charity Shield? Or
Yeah,
Community
so
Shield?
one more than Poch.
Yeah,
Not
right.
hard, though.
After being at, was it Boavista, he was on loan on last season after going to Lille. Didn't play a lot for Manchester United. Played 6 games in total. Oh, no, 10 games in total. 5 in the league and then obviously 5 in the clubs. We don't need to spend too much time in. Where are you putting him?
Again, all the ability in the world, flattered to deceive. He's got to be MUTV-ish. Youth level, he was unbelievable. Once he got into the first team, I remember when he came on against City in the League Cup semi-final when they beat us like 3-0 or something like that, when De Bruyne sat Jones down at one time. And I was watching him and he come on and I went, no pressure on him now. We're like 3-0 down. Just play your game.
Yeah, when it ended 3-2.
Yeah, I was just like, you're 3-0 down, just play your game, see what happens. And he just couldn't get a touch. And I'm like...
I loved Angel Gomez as a youngster. I thought he's the one, we did a thing, I think, 2 seasons ago, like a pre-season thing, a preview, myself, McCullough, Gaz Drinkwater and Howson, and I was raving about him. Just didn't really happen for him, did it?
No,
obviously, got a good move to Boavista. Well, sorry, to Lille and then Boavista. Very young, so could have a big future ahead of him. There was talk at one point when he was at United, like Barcelona and the clubs like that were looking at him. For United, where are we putting him?
MUTV, I'd say. No, worth a selfie.
Yeah, I mean, 10 games.
And he gave nothing, really. Let's be real. He's the youngest ever United player, is he still? Took that off Duncan Edwards, did he, when he come on against Palace?
Right,
Jose, I think,
so
for
there's
Rooney. I thought that was the crossing of the guard, and then it just didn't happen for him.
Yeah, at 16 years, 263 days old, he became the youngest player to play for Manchester United since Duncan Edwards in 1953. So...
You know what? For that, let's put him on mid-tier then. All
right, MUTV, for that record, since
just
the great Duncan Edwards, we'll put you in as MUTV alumni. Another one we'll move on to, Axel Tuanzebe. Still got a future at the club, but still at the club, unlike Angel Gomez. Had a horrific time with injuries. There was a spell where it looked like he was going to become potentially a United sort of
I'd say
first
captain.
teamer. Yeah, but like when he went to Villa on loan, obviously did really well as a youth and academy player. Went to Villa on loan, had a really good season there. Comes back, you think this is it now. He could potentially. I remember us doing like a sort of fan cams after the game, and we were asking him, "Do you think it's going to be Tuanzebe, or would you rather see Tuanzebe or Lindelof partner Maguire?"
Yeah.
And the majority was saying Tuanzebe,
Yeah.
even over the likes of Bailly as well. Tuanzebe was like, people like this kid's going to be special.
Off the back of his loan at Villa as well, when he ended up that second loan when he took him to the final. I don't know if he was captain. I don't think he was, but he was very vocal anyway, and he was a commander. And I was like, I remember watching him going like, that's a player that United had probably dropped down in the Championship to buy. Do you know what I mean? Just sort of pluck him and go, you're too good for that level. Come here.
Yeah.
But he's just injuries, inconsistency, lack of playing time as well. It's just been. He's still here, but you get the feeling that if he went, it wouldn't surprise you, and I don't think you'd miss him. And I think that speaks volumes about what really you think about him. Because I loved him. I loved him as when he was through the academy, and even in the first team. I just think if it would have happened for him, it would have happened by now, surely.
No, I agree. So what? Sorry, where are you putting him?
Oh, God, I'd say. Oh God, it's a difficult. Do you know what? MUTV. I'd say worth a chant, but he's already got a brilliant chant. But
he has. It's weird, isn't it? Because we were saying it's like someone like Paul Pogba hasn't got a chance. Paul Pogba's been at the club for years.
Yeah.
You know, one of the sort of most talented players at the club. Axel Tuanzebe has got a chance. I don't know if that's to do with his name or just the fact we love him. But he has got a very good chance as well.
Very good chance.
So
yeah, let's say MUTV because he is a pretty good player. But,
yeah.
you know.
And the thing with this is with Axel, because he's still at the club, he could potentially, you know, blossom, do really well. And you know, go on to become an absolute legend at Manchester United.
Yeah.
By no means have we given up on him.
Because a lot of the rumours are loan, not sell. So I think United
Yeah.
still see a player in him. So
Yeah.
it's just up to him now to sort of realise it and get there.
We'll move on quickly. Scott McTominay.
Worth a chant. He's already got a chant.
Yeah,
But
he's got two.
He's just a player
He's got
that
two chances, hasn't he?
he does.
Yeah. There's the Saturday night's all right for finding one.
That's it, yeah.
And then there's
The other one,
yeah.
yeah.
The other one.
Go on.
No, I was doing a Tuanzebe one then.
Now,
Yeah.
Scott, every single season he's been an improvement on the season before.
Yeah.
And you can make an argument that he deserves to start every week for United, as simple as that. So, yeah, I think for that reason, worth a chant.
Worth a chant. Again, might end up with a statue. Who knows? The next one on my list is Mason Greenwood.
Oh. Now, I'd
Yeah.
say, like, if he left tomorrow,
Yeah.
I'd say worth a chant.
Yeah.
But he's definitely got the air of possibility of he could get a statue
I
because he is that good.
I think he's amazing.
I don't want to shoot the gun because I do this. Like I said, well, I've done this with FosuMensah, I've done this with Axel, I've done it with James Wilson. I'm scared.
I'm
been here
the
before.
worst one for it. Like, I genuinely thought that, you know, I'm the only guy that watched the Class of '92 and was convinced Simon Davies was going to be the next big thing. Like, honestly, I was like, he's the one. Trust me. Never mind your Beckhams and your Scholeses and all them lot. That kid on the left wing.
Is that when your scouting dream ended there?
Yeah, that was like, Jay, shut up. And again, I did it with Terry Cook, I did it with Kiko Makeda. All good players, by the way, but they weren't anywhere near the level I thought they were going to be. I thought they'd be playing for Manchester United for the next 15 years.
Mason's got something about him, hasn't he? Like, even though the thing is, you can always judge it at face value in games because we see him for like 90 minutes, but the ones behind the scenes say that, like, I think it was Henderson, wasn't it? He was complimenting Kane, compared him to Greenwood. He was like, Kane's the best finisher I've seen since Greenwood or something like that. Yeah. I'm like, what? Hang on a minute. It shouldn't be the other way around, surely. Like,
he's almost on Mason's level. That's
almost.
how good he is. I think Mason could get a statue, but I'm with you. I don't want to get too giddy.
Yeah.
So
I just let him play his game.
Yeah.
He's learning like the wings, and he's trying to be a bit more of a complete forward, as it were. Yeah. So give him some time. How old's he? 19? That scares me. There's players younger than me now. I'm telling them I don't like that.
Mate,
I don't
welcome
like that.
to my world. They're all younger than me. Hey,
brilliant.
Seriously.
Yeah, he could get a statue. Could get a statue very easily.
So we say chant for now because we don't want to
give him a chant for now.
Over-egg the pudding. Moving on, a player that at one point was probably more lauded than Mason Greenwood, and actually it just never really happened for him at Manchester United so far. He is still on the books, of course. Talking about Tahith Chong. Played 16 games for Manchester United. Can you believe that? I thought that's a lot. I didn't think he played anywhere near that much.
No.
Or that many, sorry. So, no goals, really. Not really done a lot during those games. Again, he is only young, but he was tipped to be the next big thing. He was the one that everyone's like, Chong's the one everyone's raving about. Chong's the one to watch. Never really got going when he's had his first team opportunities for me. Had a loan spell to Werder Bremen last season. Started off well, faded. Then went to Club Bruges in Belgium. Again, did okay. He's come back now. I think there's talk of him. Oh, not talk of him, sorry. He's gone to Birmingham City on loan. He needs to do something, doesn't he? For me.
Yeah,
he needs to. If he's going to come back, if he's going to have a future United at Birmingham City, he needs to do something.
He needs to do something. He needs to do it quick because his loans at Iraq were shit. Like, it worries you, doesn't it, when you see like the Vitesse Arnhems, the Club Bruges, when you go. Do you know when Dylan Levitt went on loan to that Croatian team? Yeah. And I'm like, who the fuck are they? Like, what? But when you see Jimmy Garner going to Forest, it makes more sense. You go, right, Championship's a tough league. It's kind of close to ours. It's physical. It's fast.
Yeah.
Why are you sending him off to there? What challenge is it? Because, come on, he's got to be better than that at the level he's at. With Chong, do you know when you said about Pereira, like, most appearances, worst United player?
Yeah.
Chong, for me, is up there. Because it's just every single time he come on, he just wasn't doing it for me. So, do you know what? I didn't say I put anyone in it, but he's got to be Twitter celeb from it.
Twitter celeb?
It's Twitter celebrity for me.
Yep.
Worth a selfie just because he's got a bit of a crazy hairdo.
Twitter famous.
Twitter famous.
All right, we'll go with selfie because he's still at the club. We'll give him a chance.
Benefit of the doubt.
We'll give him a chance. Right, we're going to rattle through these because we have been sort of spending far too much time talking about
Paddy McNair and
Paddy. We spent like loads of time talking about Paddy McNair. Got to basically it's like we better rush through this. It's been going on for ages. Right, we'll go. We'll do some quick fire ones. James Garner.
MUTV at the moment. Yeah. But he could be very good.
I mean, according to Forest fans, he's the the next Sergio Busquets. That's how well they rate him. That's what they were calling him. If that happens, I'll be a very happy man if he does it for Manchester United. But at the moment, mid-table, doing well. He's done all right when he came. He didn't do that well when he played against QPR the other day, but I don't think we can blame him because none of the players did really.
Young lad, played good football last season, so he's got everything ahead of him. So hopefully he cracks on because that next step up is going to be a big one for him. So if he can get past there, he'll be a hell of a player.
Yeah. Next one is Brandon Williams. It's weird. Is that first season mint?
Yeah,
second season, a bit of second season syndrome. Didn't play very much, and when he did, other than the Leipzig away game, I thought he was mint.
Yeah.
When he came on, I thought he was our best player. Not really happened for him.
Bit erratic. He's a bit, I don't know. He's just a bit versatile. He can do a job, but is he a United player? Is he better than Shaw Tellers? Is he better than Wan-Bissaka? I don't think so. Worth a selfie.
Worth a selfie. All right, we'll go with worth a selfie for Brandon Williams. I do love Brandon Williams. He's there's still that thing of him. You can tell he's from North Manchester, can't you?
Yeah.
Just get stuck in.
From our Pereira, no?
Yeah, he's from them ends. If you don't know North Manchester, then it's just like Manchester, but a bit rougher.
And in the north.
Yeah, a bit northern, more northern. Dean Henderson.
Do you know what? Worth a chance.
Yeah?
Because I think, I really rate him. Distribution's good, good keeper, lot to look forward to. Do you know what? I'm going to go bold with it, yeah.
Yeah?
Go bold. Fuck it. Why not? It's a Tuesday.
Tom Heaton's going to be our number one. He's gone Tom Heat 1. Obviously, Dean Henderson's out for a few weeks, but he probably, when push comes to shove, is our first choice at the minute when everyone's fit, just about. We'll have to wait and see how it pans out. I'm going to go MUTV alumni at a minute. I don't think he's there yet. I think he's had a decent-ish season for Manchester United. I don't think it was that great.
If he was fully fit, because I think he's still suffering from COVID at the moment, isn't he? If he is fully fit, would you start him against Leeds?
Yeah, he's my first choice.
Yeah.
If everyone's fit, he's my first choice.
Yeah.
I just obviously isn't, so it looks like David De Gea. Unless Ollie does a bit of slight madness and plays Tom Heaton, which,
Hey, are we forgetting? Lee Grant.
The Grandmeister. The Grandmeister General. Yes. What better way to round it off with me and Patterson than an office reference? Get involved in the comments. Let us know what you thought about or think about our tier list. Do you agree with what we said? We didn't put anyone in the bottom, did we? We didn't do it. Did we bottle it a bit with the Twitter thing? I just feel.
I don't know. I was there with Chong. We are. Maybe if Lindelof was in there, then I would have put him in.
Don't start him on Victor Lindelof up here all day. That's enough of that. That's another tier list. A very short one with one category. Get involved in the comments. Let us know what you think. Don't forget as well to hit like, share, and subscribe. Adam Patterson, you Twitter famous. Ricky Gervais liking tweets. Where can people find you?
They can find me by searching up Adam Patterson, but the O is a 0 on Twitter.
Very clever boy. You know where to find me, Jay Motti, on all socials. This has been Stretford Paddock. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get a notification, obviously, when we go live or when we post a video. Thanks for watching.